While I was working on what I intended to be a script I read, I shared it with my wife and some friends to see what they thought. I really didn't think that I was going to write something like that again. What I thought was that I would make that little announcement, exercise and heal from my surgeries, complete my armor, and then start my revolt. However, if Henry Lecard could write Pol Pot's little red book, The Saints of Ankara, then while I heal up I could take some time to write my own thoughts down. Now my wife and friends, they love me, so this thought didn't come from them, but they thought it wise for me to address what many would be thinking, which is, what gives you the right to launch your own personal revolution? Now, I must admit to being perplexed by such a question, especially with the idea of a right, in that a right could be given. I'm perplexed by a single thought. If a council, a body, some government entity, what have you, actually has the power to bestow a right onto someone, go the extra step to bestow that right, then why not just do what the right empowered others to do in the first place? And especially with the idea of launching a revolt, what body would bestow rights of revolt against itself? I mean, hell, just saying it out loud makes it feel, well, fucking retarded. However, I did want to show that I gave the idea sincere thought, and I did. And I looked long and hard for an answer. I've never found one. I only found a justification. No one or nothing gave me a right, nor did I search for one. I can't seek out the imaginary, that what doesn't exist. And a statement such as that opens up its own can of worms, because now the question shifts from what gives you the right to what? You don't believe in rights? To which I must respond to, and unreservedly, no. I believe in power and the will to use power. Rights are rights are useless. The word rights is just another tool for people with power to get people with no power to fight amongst themselves, so that way the people with power can go do whatever the fuck they want unmolested. Not too many things are of a greater waste of time and impotence as social concern than two or more people with absolutely no power yelling over and at each other about fucking rights. If there is anything in this world that resembles rights in some way, it is the list of temporary allowances that states keep measured. Nothing and no one gave me the right. I'm justified with mine now and in my future actions. I'm a free man, a liberated man. It's my duty to do what I do and what I will do. It is because no one did their duty while living in a democracy that things deteriorated so grotesquely. If people lie while holding political office, they're criminals. And to look to criminals for honor and decency, to look for mercy from the merciless, is insanity. I mentioned all the lies, all the kicks in my first thing, so I won't revisit those things now. However, I will elaborate on one topic that I'm ambivalent about, the agreement with our northern neighbor, of whom we in Greece call Skopje, of whom the world's governments and trading groups call the Republic of Northern Macedonia, and of whom they themselves call Macedonia, but of whom I call Vidarska. But please believe me when I say that I only say Vidarska because of a deeply held belief in not giving a shit. Now, because of the anger in the population when Alexis Tsipras signed a deal with Vidarska so that they would be able to use the name Macedonia as part of their name, Kyriakos Mitsotakis used that feeling of rage in his party's climb back into power. Now, since I don't know verbatim what Mitsotakis said, I'll now sum up. Give Nea Demokratia power, and we'll fix that agreement with Vidarska and all of Syriza's fuck-ups. He lied. Moreover, he did more than lie. He sowed the seeds of hate by the use of his rhetoric He tries to get Greeks to hate other Greeks, which honestly was never that hard of a thing to accomplish. Indeed, one could say that that's the natural state of interior affairs. So, for Mitsotakis to go out of his way to truly divide us shows his heinous, grotesque methodology of governorship and what I call criminal. If you go against the will of the governed, you're a criminal dictator. If you campaign on a message and you, not only don't fulfill that message, but you work actively against that message, you're a fucking asshole. So, because the current state of political affairs is in such a state, I'm justified to launch my own personal revolution. In fact, it's necessary for me to do so because if I don't, how the hell can I look in the mirror and call myself a man? And this is not about the topic at hand. I truly don't give a fuck what a group of people want to call themselves. However, as a leftist, as a communist, I'd follow the will of the majority. I'd uphold the will of the majority even if it was against, even if it was for something that I disagreed with. I'd still uphold the will of the majority because that is what strikes at the core of what I feel communism, democracy, as being. So, I'm justified in launching a revolt, although it goes well beyond that. I'm duty-bound to revolt. If I allow the state to cut my pension, if I allow the state to hinder how I can make an income, if I allow the state to price me out of goods and services, price me out of the things that I need to live, then I give my consent for the state to murder me and be a dictatorship. Comrades, viva!